Okay, so I hope that was helpful to you. You know, again, we'd like to put together a video which we're working on, which would explain this and show it in more detail and other factors, other interesting factors to show you how this whole system works. That's going to take us some time. We are working on that. We have a very limited amount of time with everything that has to be done with this terrific discovery. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with the economy and the markets. Seems to be a huge deflation. We're giving out billions. Billions are beginning to sound like nothing. We're almost starting to talk about money now. We're getting into the trillions. The economy is contracting. There's no two ways about it. I think everybody's finally in agreement with that. That does not mean that we're not going to be realizing heavy inflation down the road, because by the time they get finished with this program and that program, and we will see bailouts in the trillions coming within the next year. In fact, they're talking about this massive stimulus that President-elect Obama wants to put in for $750 billion. I can assure you that that's going to run into the trillion, if not trillions. And let's hope that it's not like giving blood to a dead man. But it should help, at least in unemployment, and some select contractors help them to get rich. So we're hoping that people are turning more positive about what's going to happen with the new administration, and I'm sure a lot of them will. But I think it's too late. I think AIG is gone. We just have to have the funeral. Citibank, although they're going to do everything they can to keep it afloat, I don't see how that's going to happen. Sooner or later, in the next 12 to 18 months, I think you're going to see both of those gone or absorbed in some fashion. Or maybe the government will take them over totally, and everybody will go work for the government. And of course, the problem is that they're still not addressing the real estate market. The real estate market is the major issue here. Nothing is being done to stop the slide and decline. We're looking at properties in Georgia and Indiana, houses selling for $15,000, $12,000, $19,000, and these are suburban properties. These are not inner city slums or what have you. So things are there's no change with the direction of the real estate market, and that's a shame, because I don't care what you do with the mortgages. You bring the rate down to 1%. That's not going to stop people from saying, we haven't hit the bottom yet, so I'm not going to buy. And that's the mentality that we need to stop. You can go to our gilchristforum.com and look at our white paper on the matter and see what we're suggesting. One last comment, again, getting back to oil. There's a tremendous undercurrent, tremendous battle going on in the world right now with oil. And what it boils down to is the green versus the oil. The oil powers the people who, not only the Saudi Arabians, but the oil men, the oil people, are fighting this like crazy, because they realize that this may well be the end of the fossil fuel era, and that we turn to electricity or gas or wind, which it looks like the movement afoot is for that. And keep in mind that as we've said before, at the end of every century for the past 4 centuries, we've had a change in energy. So whether it's going to be nuclear, or whether it's going to be wind with electric, or fuel cell, which is probably where we will eventually end up, it's a battle for power. It's a battle for monetary control of our dollars, of the world, of the economies. Okay. So keep that in mind when people are trying to tell you that, you know, oil is this or wind is that. It's really an underlying fight that's going on for control of world economies. Okay, I think that cuts it. We hope you have a good week. We will be back to you next week. We'll hear something more from OPEC by then, and a few other things, and we'll try and give you some more updates on the master plan. Have a good week, and we'll see you real soon.